Ho 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 and Merry Christmas everyone! I am Rabbit and welcome to more Let's Play Jade Cocoon 2. So today is Christmas Day. It is the 25th of December, so I hope you guys are all off to a fabulous holiday. I hope you guys got up early and opened up a bunch of presents. You already know, if you have been watching my previous episodes, that I am kind of flying solo this holiday season. My husband went back to Arkansas to spend time with his family, and I am alone in Colorado, but that is perfectly a-okay with me because it just means more time for video games. So I'm feeling great and I am quite happy, and I hope the same can be said for all of you. So let's go ahead and get into some details. I know in the previous episode I said I wouldn't bring you guys back until I had run all the way back through, I believe it was Fire Tower 2 where we left off. I believe so, but either way, whether or not it was actually the second island, we were supposed to go back through the fire forest. However, I did find a new contract, and I figured while I'm seeing decent ones, I should go ahead and take it. And basically this one is wanting us to go through Groundwork. So I figured let's just take a little bit of a break from the fire forest because we have spent quite a bit of time going through those, and let's just shift gears and focus on Groundwork for a little bit. And I did not talk to the actual, I guess, person we're doing the job for yet. I wanted you to see that with me, and I still have not actually gone to the Room of Life to hand over the Kalma, which you just saw in my Valuables tab. So we'll do that together, and then, as always, I will pause the camera and bring you back when we are at the start of Groundwork so we can explore it together.
So you took my job. Thanks. If I weren't so sick.
You look terrible. Anyway, I'll try. Be patient, okay?
So yeah, the guy basically just wants revenge, and now he's pretending to be sick. Okay. But I get it. I'll fight his battles for him. But this is what I really wanted to share with you all. And I should have done it at the end of our last episode, but we were already past 20 minutes, so I figured I'll just wait and we'll do it together next time. So we got Radrek, which gives us Solia, which is fabulous, and I will be sure to give this to Luther. No, Luther has Foberid, I believe. So, but we might have gotten the next version of that. Well, we'll see as we go through these, right? And then Chamiluna Skewer, which is fabulous. Agniagna, cannot wait. This is more for, oh my gosh, Francine. I was like, what is her name? I should know her name because I'm obsessed with that fairy design. So I guess that's her final form? I don't know. I'm assuming so. Here's what I was talking about. Foberina is the next version of what Luther has for the fireside. The Mama Gamma. So I'm excited about what we picked up. We got a lot of really great things. And of course I have some eggs that I need to drop off. I don't think I want to hatch any of these. Let's take a quick peek before I even cut you guys out. Yeah, of course not. I don't know why I even got my hopes up. Like, hey, maybe I left a special egg here. No, not at all. And no one's at level 15 yet. Kai's getting pretty close. So I'll start going through the respective elemental forests on my own. And then when you guys come back with me, I will have sold everything, organized my inventory. And oh, wow, Earth is actually level 14 also. So we might have had 2 more mergings completed when I see you guys here in just a second. Either way, you guys know I will give you the full scoop and the recap when we come back together in Groundwork. So I'll see you in just a moment. Alrighty guys, welcome back. As you can see, I've already done the grunt work of running through to Groundwork, and as you can probably also tell just from looking at the screen, we've completed Groundwork before and have actually unlocked the first island of the level 4 Earth Forest. So I'm not sure why, honestly, this job asked us to come back here, but you know, that's fine with me. I usually backtrack anyway, and I'm sure there's a Kalma or 2 that we may have missed. Maybe not, but it's not a huge deal for me to go back through the level 3 Earth Forest. So, before we do our exploration, let me, get rid of shitty mugworts. And I will show you the eggs we picked up. I mean, it's nothing to get too excited about. All eggs that we've seen before. but I did still want to go ahead and share that with you. And I've been picking up a lot of garbage, but fortunately, there have actually been shopkeepers here. I've found 2. So I've been selling things as I've been picking them up. So let's quickly run through all this. I bet this is bullshit, which it is. But it's been going by fairly quickly. Some of the monsters run away. I'd say like half of them run away. So that's been nice. However, it is unfortunate in a sense because that means we're not getting XP. Oh wow, that one did not even react at all. He totally just walked into us. But we're like one-shotting everything here. So even the battles themselves are fairly simple and very easy to just kind of rush through. Oh mush, you may have lived that round, but you will surely die this time. So hopefully we'll be able to find this guy relatively quickly, knock all of this shit out, head back to the temple, hand over the job shit, check and see if any new postings are up for anything better, and then continue perhaps exploring Fire Tower? I'm not sure. I do want to finish up Fire Tower. Was there something sparkly? Oh, there is something sparkly, but this douchebag's in the way. I do want to finish up Fire Tower for sure, just because I think it will be nice to see if everything ends after four layers, I suppose, or 4 levels of the elemental forest, or if there are 5. I kind of just really want to get one of the freaking orbs. Like, we've been playing this game for so long and we don't have any of the orbs because I've been trying to equally explore all of the elements at one time. I mean, I feel like that's a much more balanced approach, right? Because if you only go through one at a time, you're only going to have divine beasts that reflect that specific element. So let's say I only was all up in the fire forest. I wouldn't have a good variety of divine beasts for the water, air, and earth sides. So I don't know a better way to have balanced all of this. And I need to, I think, drop some shit. Yeah, I'm getting close. Don't want that. Oh, I also meant to share with you guys, since we have been doing those job postings that ask us to find things for the Birdmen, I did have more items available at Kikinak & Company. Just better books. And I say better, I guess, with quotes, because they're not items that I would pay for, just because I find so many books. And I like the books. I think they're useful, but I don't want to pay for them. That's my point. I'm a cheap ass. Okay. Let's see if we can just rotate around. I very much want Kai and Earth to hit level 15. If that can happen, then I'll consider this backtracking for this job to have been worth it. Because I really want to do some merging with them and just keep everyone nice and powerful. But I think these guys are donezo for sure. So what are you guys doing for today, Christmas Day? I feel like most people go out of town, so I wouldn't be surprised to hear if most of you aren't even at home right now, which is a great use of one's time, right? It's nice to go and see family and just shoot the shit. I was sure to call and send text messages to a slew of people this morning when I got up. So that's kind of the extent of what my Christmas cheer was. Oh, a shield book. I don't really know if I want to keep this. I have shield Bibles, so the shield book only heals 1. Yeah, 1 shield. Not worth a slot. Absolutely not. So yeah, for me, that was the extent of my cheer. I was like, Merry Christmas to all you assholes. Don't anybody call me today, because I'm playing video games. Well, that's not entirely true. This afternoon / this evening, I am going to spend my Christmas having, like, I guess a lunch / early dinner with a woman that I do work with. She's so sweet. She's one of the academic advisors at the school. And she's kind of become like my adopted mom for this town. She's a really sweet lady. I've talked about her before in this Let's Play. We call her MK because her name is so ridiculously long. But she's a very, very, very sweet lady. I just adore her. And it's interesting because she is so much older than me. Like, she's in her mid-50s. I don't know exactly how old she is, but I would guess she's like 54, 55, 56, somewhere in there. And it's really nice talking to her because not only do I feel like she's a friend, but she also is someone that, I can ask for advice or just kind of bounce ideas off of if I'm unsure about how I want to approach a certain issue or problem in my life. I just really value my relationship with her. She's a wonderful woman. However, her kids are kind of spoiled brats, which, I shouldn't be surprised, right? They come from an upper class family, or at least she originally didn't come from an upper class family. She and her husband, from what she shared with me, both started out, I would say, like middle class, maybe lower middle class. Like, they weren't broke ass bitches, but they certainly didn't have everything handed to them. And it's interesting that she opted to raise her kids that way. I don't know. I think that's kind of strange. Like, if you had to work a lot and then oh my God, I have so much bullshit, but at some point I have to get rid of some of this crap. So if I don't find a shopkeeper, I'm just going to start dropping the stones. Although I really probably should start dropping the eggs because they have literally zero value for me. Okay, I don't really want to fight you, but I guess I have to. So yeah, anyway, I thought that was an interesting approach for her and her husband with parenting because the two of them worked really hard for what they have, and then her two daughters don't do anything. So one is 20-something, she's like 20, 21, and then the other one is 17. And the 20-year-old is very nice. I've only met her twice because she's at a university in Wyoming, I think, is where she goes to school. So she moves out of state, for college, which, whatever, I get. And yes, Kai's now 15, so that's great. Okay, I have way too much bullshit. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna drop like 3 things because this is making me uncomfortable. Get rid of you, and I'll get rid of you. It's not a huge loss anyway. It's not like I've been desperate for cash. So I'm not going to lament that too much. So anyway, the 20-year-old is going off to university, and she's kind of doing her best, I guess, but I think she struggles a lot with, I don't know, just with like anxiety, and I totally get it. I think her 20-year-old daughter is very sweet, and I like her. She's a nice girl, but you can tell, just kind of spoiled, I guess. But the 17-year-old, okay. She's one of those kids that I think is so bored and has so much extra time that she loves just being controversial. Not necessarily to me, like she's never said anything directly to me that's been obnoxious, but okay. Let me give you guys an example. So she's a 17-year-old who's never worked, never needed to do anything because her dad is an engineer and her mom is an advisor at a school. So, they have a very nice house. They gave her a car. Like, this girl has never, ever worked, never had a part-time job, anything. She's very nice and she works really hard in school, but she loves talking shit about people that don't share the same views as her. So she's a vegetarian. You guys know I'm a vegetarian, but my vegetarianism is, I guess, kind of like a combination of culture and I guess my background. Like, I definitely am not one of those people, I would say, that tells others how to live their lives. Like, I believe there are lots of valid ways of being a person, so if you want to support certain causes, like, that's totally up to you. I know some people that they're very charitable in regards to homelessness, and then there are people that are more charitable towards like animal rights or like animal shelters, things like that. I think that's what makes being human so cool, is that we all have different opinions and different approaches to living our lives. And as long as you're not actively hurting someone else or trying to keep someone from having access to the same opportunities as you, I don't have a problem with people having a different perspective or opinion from me. So, with that being said, the 17-year-old recently this year became a vegetarian, I guess, because she follows a lot of like YouTube bloggers, or I should call them vloggers, that promote that lifestyle, which is great. I'm a vegetarian, so I am happy that she found validity in that lifestyle. However, she is like a total bitch about it, and it's interesting because when I hear her talking about things, I can tell she's just repeating things that she's heard other people say, and they're not necessarily points that she has researched on her own or things that she's experienced on her own or thought about on her own. So one time we're all sitting in MK's house, and MK was making like meatloaf for her husband. My husband also eats meat. So, I mean, you can tell that I'm not judging people who choose to do that, because I understand not everyone gives a shit about vegetarianism. I'm sure that her husband contributes to a lot of other causes. Like, he's a very nice guy. So that's fine. Who the fuck cares if she wants to make her husband a fucking meatloaf? But like, this little 17-year-old twat was like, Mom, I can't believe you encourage Dad to be subhuman, or she said something like that. And of course, I'm not getting involved, it's like, this is not my daughter, I'm not related to you guys, I am staying out of it. And of course, MK, because she's such a sweet person, I guess she doesn't really believe in punishing her kids, I don't know, but she just like ignored it, and her daughter just kept carrying on, and she was like, I can't even believe that you're making this, and blah blah blah. And I almost want to be like, okay, sweetheart, like, you really have too much time. Don't you have homework or something to be doing? Because you are getting on my nerves. Like, please calm your tits. This is not even the end of the world, because your mom is making your father meatloaf. Like, can you please get it together and gain perspective? Okay, and then like another thing. So, and I wish this was an exaggeration, you guys. So, one night, we're all watching Mulan. You know, the Disney movie. Okay. I don't mind Mulan. I'm not hugely in love with Disney movies. I just didn't really grow up watching that many of them. So I have some that I like and then some that I don't. Mulan I'm neutral on. I like her as a Disney princess, if you want to call her that, since she is based on an actual person. But of course, the story was Disney-fied. But nevertheless, I don't mind Mulan. I think the movie's funny. I thought Eddie Murphy did a good job as Mushu. And for the most part, it was just a fun, lighthearted film. So this little 17-year-old twat, who you can tell doesn't know anything about any other culture other than her own, like, as soon as the movie started, because I guess she had never seen it before, I mean, obviously, like, Mulan came out in what, 1998, I want to say? Like 97, 98, maybe 99. It came out a long-ass time ago, so she didn't grow up watching Mulan. That goes without saying. So anyway, fucking the movie starts, and immediately with the music and everything, she's like, guys, this movie is so racist. Why did they name the Chinese princess Mulan? And I didn't say anything, but her older sister was even like, girl, you know that there was actually a real person named Mulan, and it's based in China. They didn't just like make up this fucking name to be racist. And of course, so she doesn't say anything. But for her, I guess it's like cool to take up certain causes. And I guess for her, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so racist and blah, blah, blah. And so I actually finally asked her, I was like, do you actually know anything about China, Chinese culture, Chinese lore? And she was like, well, no. And so I actually said this to her, and I felt kind of bad, like maybe I had overstepped my boundaries, but I said, I would strongly encourage you to actually like look up what era Mulan is based on, look up some information about the actual woman who was named Mulan. Like, just do some actual research before you get offended by something that doesn't even actively pertain to you, and it's very obvious that you aren't familiar with this. And so she didn't say anything to that, and MK just kind of looked at me. I think she was more like, don't be mean to my daughter, but I was thinking, you need to tell your daughter to shut the fuck up, because nobody's asking her to like be a pioneer for Chinese American rights when she's upset about something that's not even offensive. Like, I don't know anyone who's offended by Mulan, you guys. If you know someone who is, I mean, that's fine. I'm sure, there definitely have probably been some things in the film that were misrepresented. I never lived in China, so I can't speak to everything that was presented in there, but like, it's a fucking Disney movie. Are you really going to be upset about the music or the character's name? How is that even racist? I don't understand. So I just think some people get really bored, and I think it's cool to be I don't want to call her a social justice warrior, because I do think there are absolutely causes that need to be fought, but being upset and offended at Mulan is not one of them. And so her daughter, the point of all of this is just to say, I think her 17-year-old daughter is nice, but I think she gets too caught up in what is popular to be, like what kind of personality you should have. And I think for her, it's like cool to be really involved in certain causes, but she's not actually that involved in certain causes. So it's like with the vegetarianism, I know she's never volunteered before. Like, she's never stepped fucking foot into like an animal shelter to help clean cages or like walk the dogs, yet she's the first person to talk about how humans who do certain things are like terrible and subhuman, but it's like, bitch, what have you actually contributed to animal rights? And it's the same thing with like her position, I guess, on Mulan. It's like, okay, you want to talk about like racism and how it's wrong for certain cultures to be presented a certain way, but like, what have you actually done to help non-white people? Like, really, what have you done to put yourself outside of your comfort zone to lend to causes that support Chinese Americans or African Americans or Mexican Americans? Nothing, absolutely nothing, because you're a 17-year-old upper class white girl with everything that's been presented to you. So you truly are the definition of what my sister calls a slacktivist. So it's like someone who is actively involved in a cause, or they think they're actively involved in a cause because they can sit online all day typing out how something's offensive or how something's wrong, but they don't actually donate to certain causes, or they're not actively participating in furthering those causes. They just like to bitch. So her 17-year-old absolutely drives me insane. And whenever she like tries to talk to me about certain issues, I'm just like, bitch, please leave me out of it. We're not friends. I'm friends with your mom. So please stick to talking to your little online bloggers about your bullshit, because I am not having it. And it's one thing to just be misinformed and want to have a conversation about something, but when someone like you can tell is misinformed and then doesn't actually want a conversation, they're instead just trying to educate others when they themselves don't know what they're talking about, it just you guys, it's a huge pet peeve of mine. I'm like, please get the facts, or at least put forth an effort to understand what you're espousing before you're like putting others down, because it just makes you, one, look stupid, and two, it's hard for people to respect you that way because you have no credibility. So anyway, guys, we are past 20 minutes, so I think we will go ahead and call this an episode. We're in Groundwork 3, and we still have not yet found the person who we need to fight in order to complete our job. So hopefully we'll find him within Groundwork 3 or 4. I don't know, we had better, because the job posting says we're supposed to come here. Right? Or did I come to the wrong place? Yeah, it says Groundwork, so I'll see you guys in just a minute in our next episode, where we will continue looking for this dude and knock the shit out of him. So thanks for watching. Be right back, everybody.